Welcome to Storytellers Campfire. This is Lady Selah Sujuris, and I am hosting for our program tonight, along with our other host, Rich Gelhausen, Isabella Hart, and Charlie Checkers. Welcome, everyone, to the campfire.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is Rich Gelhausen here.
Charlie
Yeah, I enjoy our chats together. It's the one place where I can find out what everybody's doing for the coming month.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, for me as well. It gets us all on, lets everybody know we're all on the same page.
And as well as communicating together, we have some big news tonight, so we'll get right into that.
Yes, we do. I am very excited about today's show because we will be sharing a little bit about all 12 shows that are now featured through Storytellers Campfire Radio. Now, I wanted to share a little bit of information about Storytellers Campfire. We started back in 2006, and we started broadcasting on local community stations. And then we branched out into multiple broadcasting venues in order to reach a global audience. Right now, we are heard in over 108 countries around the world. Storytellers Campfire is also managing and directing other shows and programs. But I want to share a little bit first, before we get to these other shows and programs, about the original shows that we started with. Our Author's Voice program features published authors. And these authors are coming from all over the world. And then our Storytellers program, we either bring on a storyteller, sometimes they're a professional, or sometimes they're a guest who just want to share a story that was important to them, or a life experience that turned into a story, or sometimes just a story everyone's familiar with. And then on our Campfire Musicians segment, it's one of our favorite segments because everyone loves music. And we do a combination of musicians on this program. It's not just folk or country-style music or campfire music. We call it our Campfire Musicians segment because everyone comes to the global campfire to hear it. But we have musicians in every genre who has been on the program. So I'm encouraging everyone to take a look at our Campfire Musicians that we have featured on the program as well at our website. We also bring on singers, songwriters, and composers. Now, on our poetry wheel, we feature published poets, singular pieces of poetry. We like to bring on poetry organizations, especially those who are working hard at preserving and encouraging poetry. We also will feature poetical stories, poems, short verse, prose, and some haiku. On our Writer's Circle segment, we feature professionals. Often they are in a field of particular expertise that's often related to writing. But we also have published authors who have been through the writing process, and we ask them to come on this program and share with our listeners some advice, some of their experiences that they've gone through, because it can be challenging going through the writing process. So we often will give advice on writing, and occasionally we will feature unpublished writings as well on that segment of the program. The Rare Book Series is one of my favorites and very dear and true to my heart because we feature antique books, rare books, and collectible books. And it's one of my favorite pastimes as well. I love going into old bookstores or secondhand stores and seeing what kind of treasure I can find in there. And often I come out with a book. But actually the reason that we have such a wonderful library collection is due to the family of Misho. He was a host on our show before he passed away, and his family donated his entire library collection, and he had some wonderful antique and collectible books. But I also have to say thank you to our listeners and some of our guests on the program, because they have been donating and contributing books, not just to our rare book series, but our entire library collection, which now houses over 10,000 books. So we have an amazing library, and so I want to thank everyone who has contributed to this. But my favorite are the rare books. So as Storytellers Campfire began to grow on the radio program, we began to manage and direct other shows. So we started with StoryTales, and then we added the Golden Ark of Treasure, summer reading programs, and then we added to the list of shows that we manage and direct through Storytellers Campfire Administration Office. And then we added the Charlie Checkers Show, On the Line Public Interest News, international radio tours, and we have another new show launching in July, Don't Give Up Your Daydream. So I wanted to take the time on this fireside chat to share with our listeners, because sometimes when you're hearing our programs, they will hear Storytellers Campfire Radio, but then they hear International Radio Tour or Charlie Checkers Show, and everyone's not sure what's happening. So to clarify things, we have our own original shows, but we also help manage and direct all these other shows through Storytellers Campfire Radio. To make it simple and clear up all the confusion, you can simply go to StorytellersCampfire.org and click on the show page. It's one page, and it lists every show that works through Storytellers Campfire Radio. We're going to take a commercial break, I should say, and then we'll be right back with our feature presentations.
With video games, I'm often choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them.
Hey, Mom, how about this one?
Rated T for teen with violence and suggestive themes. Let me check the rating summary. Frenetic combat, cries of pain, female warlords expose cleavage.
Maybe the other one's better.
The rating summaries are free. Use them, and you'll be armed with the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
For more information, go to esrb.org.
Whoa, a new digital music player. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, because I can't wait to toss the big stereo. And now that we got your dad that big HD TV he wanted, we can throw out our old TV, too.
Hold up. You can't just throw out electronics.
Really?
They need to be recycled or donated.
And how would we do that?
It's so easy, Mom. Today, recycling electronics is just as easy as buying them. GreenerGadgets.org has all the info. We just enter our zip code to find a certified recycling center nearby. There are thousands of them, and new ones are being added all the time. Some of our local stores are even certified recycling locations.
I like that.
Did you know that some of the stuff in our old electronics could be used to make new products and conserve natural resources?
Well, okay then. Let's gather them up. What was that website again?
GreenerGadgets.org. We just enter our zip code and go.
Welcome back to Storytellers Campfire in Progress. This is Lady Selah Sejuris, and I am here with other hosts tonight for our June fireside chat. And we have Rich Gelhausen, Isabella Hart, and Charlie Checkers. It's so nice to have everyone here at the campfire. I love the fireside chats.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
So coming up on our show for Friday, June 5th, we have Poetry Will. And then Writer of a Trilogy will rebroadcast on June 6th at 8 o'clock p.m. Now, this was a really interesting interview. It was with Rich Gelhausen and John Knuckle, and how he has become a successful author of the trilogy, which is The Vig, Grit, and Blind Trust. What I personally liked about it, Rich, was that John really took some time in sharing, these experiences of his early childhood at home and the interaction with his mother, and how those experiences he credited lending itself to him becoming a writer, kind of, as a different career. But I loved listening to that interview. And when I got done an hour later, I felt like I had just watched a movie.
Well, thank you, Lady Selah. I'm glad you enjoyed the program. And yes, John is a very interesting person. And on our program, he talks about growing up in New York City and his extensive career in the financial industry. But also, and I think most interestingly, he talks about writing, the how, the whys, where he gets his ideas and inspirations for his novels. Everything from his daydreams to his family members. He's a fascinating person.
And it wasn't just daydreams. He actually dreams about some of these characters, which was quite interesting, that he could take the dream and turn it and utilize that dream into, pieces of work.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love talking with him.
Yes, he is actually really interesting to listen to, too. So I want to encourage our listeners, if you have not had the opportunity to see the presentation, it's actually just a slideshow presentation of John Knuckles' book tour, but you can see it at internationalradiotours.org. We also have a link to it at storytellerscampfire.org, and you can just click on the videos. So we do have a new show that's coming up, and I think that's with you, Rich.
Well, thank you. Yes, I'll be your host for our new program, On the Line, Public Interest News, which debuts on June 9th through the 13th. It presents a variety of subjects of worldwide public interest, from the humorous and entertaining to some of the most serious issues confronting people in varying parts of the world today, from basic health needs such as food, water, and medicine to international crime. And we'll conduct interviews with people from around the world who are committed to confronting and mitigating the various issues vital to our global audience. Now, we'll present the information in a compelling, educational, objective, and non-ideological manner. Our first program will feature the interesting story behind Major League Baseball and the Big Chew, followed by an in-depth interview with Matthew Fairfax. Now, Matthew Fairfax is one of the founders of the Justice and Soul Foundation, confronting the global sexual exploitation of children.